I've got a problem, guys. It's that these exhaust tips are absolutely disgusting. Admittedly, I've been somewhat of a bad owner of this GTI in that I haven't been very good about keeping these chrome exhaust tips very chrome. They get covered in this black soot, and I've been really lazy about cleaning them. But today I'm gonna change that, and I'm gonna get them looking nice and chromy once again. But before I do that, I kind of want to understand why it is that they turn black in the first place, and I think I've got a friend who can help. So by the end of this video, we're going to understand what makes the exhaust tips black, and we're going to learn the best way to clean them and keep them looking nice and shiny. Okay, so I know that GTIs commonly have this problem where their exhaust tips get really black, but I'm not exactly sure why that is. So I've come to my friend Harvey here at the Boost Creep because he knows a lot about turbocharged engines, and I'm sure a lot about why it is that those exhaust tips get super black. So let's ask him and find out. Okay, so Harvey, as the fine people of the internet have pointed out, these exhaust tips are absolutely disgusting, and I can see they're disgusting. I know GTIs especially have this problem where exhaust tips just get black. Even after a week, you start to see a lot of buildup here. So I guess my first question is, what is this on my exhaust tips? Like, what is all that black stuff? They're supposed to be chrome.
Well, I'll say it's probably a mixture of several things. But mainly carbon is what I'm seeing here right now. But you know, the stuff that comes out of engines is hydrocarbons. You have a turbo engine. What size is the displacement on this engine?
This is a 2-liter.
It's a 2-liter, so it's a relatively small turbocharged engine at altitude. And to get around, we're going to be running in boost, and to have fun, we're going to be running boost as well. It's not liquidy or greasy, and it's dry. So in my mind, it's mainly carbon, and probably hydrocarbons is the source of it, which is unburnt fuel. A turbocharged engine, you're going to run very rich, especially if you're running in boost a lot, and a guy young like you is probably going to get into boost from here and there a couple times a day.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So I would say it's probably you're running rich, and that's perfectly normal.
Why is it that turbos especially run really rich?
Well, we're really, what's happening is power is really based on fuel, and burning a certain amount of fuel. It's called brake specific fuel consumption. How much fuel does an engine burn to make a certain amount of power? Is one aspect of it. But if you look at it in the light of, wow, it can burn this much fuel and make this much power, but it's only this tiny little engine, we have a lot more metal that has to deal with a lot more heat. So where a normally aspirated big V8, we might want to run about 12.8 to 13 to 1 air fuel ratio for longevity. An engine this small, we're going to run at about 10.8, maybe even 10.5 to 1 from the factory. And this is all passing emissions through their catalysts and everything, but they're running that rich just so that we can keep the engine from melting down. It's really about thermal control, and we're trying to keep things cool inside the engine through liquid cooling with the fuel, not through the cooling system. And it's really, fuel is for thermal control, and that's why your car's so rich.
All right, thanks to Harvey, we now know exactly why those exhaust tips are getting so cruddy. So it's time to do a little research and find out exactly how we clean them. Okay, well, there seems to be pretty much one product that comes up time and time again, so I'm going to head over to our local hardware store, McGuckin's, and see if they have it. All right, so we're here to get two things. One is, of course, our cleaning supply, and the other thing we need is a sponge. So let's go. We found it right here. So these guys are not a sponsor of ours, but from pretty much every recommendation I've found on the GTI forums that I've been reading online, this is the stuff to use. Again, not a sponsorship. It's just like a light abrasive polish that works really well. Well, this is meant for like cookware, kitchen appliances, stuff like that, but I guess it works really well for exhaust tips too. And a sponge. All right, we've got the stuff. Now we gotta head back to the office and get cleaning. Alright, so this is pretty much everything you need, just a sponge, some water, and the cleaning material. Now, I've been reading the directions on here, and it recommends just getting a damp sponge and then scrubbing away, and that should restore those dirty old exhaust pipes to a nice, shiny finish. Also, if you're wondering why the rest of my car is so dirty, it's fall here in Colorado, it rains a lot, it just happens. So, let's get cleaning. Alright, and then it says less is more with this stuff, so we only need to use a tiny little bit. Maybe about that much. And start scrubbing. So far it actually seems to be working really well. I don't know if you guys can see that yet, but the chrome finish is there after all. I think I just need to keep scrubbing for a while, and then eventually I'll have some nice shiny exhaust tips. So status update, this is where I've gotten to so far. It looks really good, like way better than it did. If you get way down low here, there's some grime still on the bottom, and I've been scrubbing at that for a long time. I'm just not sure if that'll come off with only this stuff, but otherwise, you know, from about 3 feet away, it looks way better. I mean, that is shiny. My fingers are getting pruny. I've got this one looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. There's still some spots that need a little more scrubbing, but for now I'm going to leave it like that. Time to start on the other tailpipe. Okay, so I've been scrubbing at this for a good hour and a half. It was supposed to take about 10 minutes, but I think that's if you actually do this on a regular basis and don't leave it for about 3 years like I did. But the results are actually super impressive though. I'm really happy with it. So let me take it into the sunlight, get some cool shots, and show you how it looks. There you go, guys. I think the results speak for themselves. Those tips look way better than they did when I started. Are they perfect? No, I think that's because I left them for a really long time, about 3 years between cleanings, which is way too long. Slam me for that in the comments if you want. Big thank you to Harvey for the help at his tuning shop. That was super helpful to learn exactly why it is that these get so dirty. And I hope you guys liked this video. So if you did, please drop a comment down below, smash the like button, and please come back to TFLcar.com for more news, views, and real-world reviews, and of course, more videos about cleaning exhaust tips, I guess. Thanks, guys.